Hello everyone, I'm Rose Bundock, and it was only this time last year I stepped onto this stage to speak for the first time. And what a year it's been since. I've launched a women's health business, I've given more talks, and I've positively impacted the lives of women and girls. So I couldn't be more excited to introduce our first speaker today, the wonderful Sophie Sheinwald. Photographer, a visual storyteller, known for her work capturing purpose-driven narratives. Sophie's lens has recorded extraordinary moments, from her co-creation of the 2020 Vision Project, honouring healthcare workers during COVID-19, to her acclaimed book, Generation Share, showcasing inspiring stories of global changemakers. Through her fine arts background and community projects, Sophie creates visual stories that foster connection and social impact. Her latest venture, Vision Mapping, helps brands discover and communicate their deeper purpose. Let's give a very big, very warm welcome to Sophie.
Thank you. How do we shine? Well, just be yourself. Just be yourself. Right? Just be yourself. Come on. You feel it? Yeah, just be yourself. Just be yourself. That's something that, as a photographer, I thought was the right thing to say to people when they would come to me for a headshot session. Just be yourself. And yet, it's quite a deep thing to ask somebody to be. Just be yourself. I mean, how do we be anyway? I had this client, this is in my first couple of years of business, and she was dressed beautifully, immaculately. Her hair was just right. She had curly hair, and it just looks really good. And she had told me, like many people do, and even before I started as a photographer, I hate being photographed. I'm not photogenic. I hate the camera. 3 mantras that I get to hear almost every time. And I said, don't worry, you'll be fine. And I had a studio set up, the lighting was ready, I had some gentle music on. It was like a first date. She came in, she sat down, I said, don't worry, we'll just take a few photos just as a warm-up. And she sat down, I took my first click, and she jumped up and she went, are we done? And I was like, oh my God, what's that? Like, I knew, people told me that they were afraid of the camera. And I could kind of sense, you know, you can sense, you know, we communicate 24/7. You can kind of sense how somebody's feeling. But I hadn't really taken it into view. So, just be yourself. It doesn't really work. In 2016, this woman, Benita Matofska, invited me to go on a book journey to photograph changemakers, and the book's called Generation Share. We published it in 2019. It was a really wonderful journey, inspiring journey, meeting incredible people that are doing amazing projects. We went as far to, went to Mumbai, we went to Lisbon, we went to all kinds of places to meet people that are doing incredible projects, because they're looking at the world and they're thinking something needs to be done about it, and they do something about it. So it was wonderful. And I thought, well, by photographing these change makers, it would be easy that once, they're people that are doing amazing things. So they would know instantly that when the camera came out, they'd be ready. But as it turned out, after they were being interviewed by Benita, and I got the camera out, they were like, they weren't able, even though they were doing these incredible, inspiring things, they weren't able to see their own worth. And that kind of stuff really, really interested me. Like, why is it that the camera brings out the shadows? What is it about this little box? How do we be? As I said earlier, 24/7 we communicate something. Right now, I'm kind of feeling a little bit nervous actually, and I'm probably communicating a little bit of that to you right now, you know, and I need to relax into it, and then I can just like be, you know, we kind of feel different things all of the time. So the camera tends to bring out that part of us that isn't so comfortable, is a bit awkward. So I decided to ask people questions. Lots of people. I went out on social media, I got people right in front of me, people that were coaches, therapists, people that were doing meditation. I had some really deep conversations about how do we be? What is this discomfort? What does it look like to you? What's it saying? What are these shadows? Shadows. Ta-da! Here's some examples. So when we've got the attention on us, the camera is doing that, isn't it? It's giving us attention. And if we're not feeling so good, the shadows say things like, don't look at me. I don't belong here. That one? Does anybody that resonate with anyone? Oh, look, we got nods. Yeah, I don't belong here. Who am I to be standing here, facing the world, when there's so many other people that do what I do, that are similar to me, that are much better than I am? These shadows, oh, the camera brings them out. And as a mechanism, we have the mask. We have the mask. Now, what is the mask? What is that? We know what that is. For me, I noticed it quite a lot in certain networking events, especially the BNI kind. It's like, I am a photographer, this is how I am, and I am being a photographer. I look better, I'm a professional. All of this kind of like mask. You really don't feel yourself when you go into a room like that, right? You kind of feel awkward, like, it's weird, right? Have you done it? Yes, we've all done it, where we've been in a room and we haven't quite been there. We put on this mask of who we think we're supposed to be. I'm thinking about this woman that I photographed years ago, a different one from the one I spoke about earlier. And professional therapist, I came to her space, we took some shots, and I hadn't realized that she hadn't put herself in the frame. When I look back now, I see it. I bumped into her a year ago at an event that I was photographing. And she told me she hadn't used any of the photos. And because I'd done this piece of work where I'd asked so many people the question about their discomfort, I thought, aha, tell me why. I'm so interested to know. And she told me, I just felt like I wasn't myself. I felt like I was trying to be this kind of therapist that I'm supposed to be, whatever that was, and I was even wearing clothes that weren't really me. I was wearing jewelry that wasn't me. My hair, everything wasn't me. So I didn't want to use my photos, as nice as they were. And I thought, thank you so much. I mean, I really appreciated having that moment to really get how powerful the camera is and how it can bring out our shadows. So the mask. Yeah, we're in a therapeutic evolution. We are in a space where more people are recognizing the stuff of shadows and how each of us kind of need to get on with our own therapy, coaching, that kind of thing, to uplift the world, you know? So we're now facing our shadows, aren't we? Are you facing your shadows? Yeah. It's an amazing time that we're in. And I think COVID had something to do with that, right? Had something to do with us facing some of our worst fears and getting through that. And we're having deeper, more wonderful conversations with each other about that, right? It's a really wonderful time. Ready for the next one. Now that's what I'm going to talk about now. So when we are in a space where we're feeling vulnerable and we're having those thoughts and feelings about, I don't belong here, and then we're tempted to put on the mask to make us feel safe. And some masks are good. I mean, we've got if you're working in a performance way, you're on stage because you're performing like you. The masks are good. They're useful. But when you are an entrepreneur or somebody in business or you just want to be yourself, what do you do? So to avoid the shadows and avoid the masks, think about what you contribute to the world. And me spoke about that on stage just earlier. I thought that was beautiful. The magnet, I loved it. Almost cried. So I'd like, please, to do this exercise with me right now. I want you to recall a time that you did something that you were proud of. So you probably thought of something when me was saying her thing earlier. A time that you were really proud of. It made you feel warm. It made you feel delight. You doing that? Just feel that feeling. That's the shine. When I'm photographing people and we get to that place, oh my God, that is so photogenic. It's beautiful. It's delightful. You can wear all the makeup in the world, wear the most perfect outfit, and hey, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, I thought when you came up on stage and you said that about your photo, I was delighted that you said that. You knew exactly, that happens. Somebody took a photograph of you and you were like, I wasn't really feeling it. And so how do we shine? When we're ready with what we want to wear and our hair and all the lighting's all right. When we're in the limelight, remind ourselves of our value. We are each of value. We each bring something to this world. Each and every one of us. Nobody is left out of that. So the next time you're in the limelight, shine like a beacon. Thank you.